Good morning, my friends. Saturday morning here in Australia. I think it's Saturday. I keep questioning that. My husband had yesterday off to extend the long weekend here, and I keep thinking that I don't know what day it is, but it is. It's Saturday, right? I'm questioning myself as I say that. Either way, it's a bright and sunny morning, and I know it's evening for many of you, and I woke up this morning with a little tap on my shoulder saying, hey, I think some people might like a money mindset workshop. What do you guys reckon? Sounds like my poll got some responses hard and fast this morning on how to manifest money. And so I know I didn't announce this with much time, but if you are here live, I would love to make this a live interactive masterclass today, because I'm obviously just gonna on the fly, thank you Yoli, it is Saturday, got it? Yes, on the fly, I'm just going to share with you as much as I can in this call around money manifestation. Now, obviously, it's a big topic. It's one of the reasons that Upswing Mastermind is so in depth, is because business training alone is not always as effective if we don't also look at these money pieces. And I've been getting so many messages from all. Thank you for your heartfelt messages in my inbox, as well as here in the group, sharing particularly how you would love to join the Upswing Mastermind but don't have money right now. And for many of you, I know that is the case, and I share as much free training during the year as I possibly can. And for some of us, I believe that we do have the money, and I would love to support you to find that. It might look like or feel like right now that we don't, but the universe is very resourceful and very infinite. And I've already had 2, if not 3, what I would call money miracles unfold for ladies in our community here in the last week who took that action step, booked an application with me for the mastermind, didn't have the money, but made that decision and then went off to see how the money would come under my guidance, under their own power. And we've had some amazing stories. And if any of you who that's already happened for are watching this, you might watch what I'm going to share today and be able to even see the steps that you took. I want to share this with you, and I decided that we would focus for today as a group on making $500 in 5 days. How does that sound? Good starting point. I mean, I use this process honestly for bringing in $500,000 and more sometimes, but I know that in most people's reality right now, that would just be like, yeah, that's a whole lot of like crock. That's a whole lot of whatever. And the truth is, it's all about where you are at. It's all about, I think I talked about the other day, I wish I had some colored glasses with me, because what I need colored glasses to demonstrate what's really going on for us all with money. We all have our colored glasses on that are very dependent on the upbringing, really our society, our environment, our life circumstances. There's no right, there's no wrong, it's just what is. And yet there's often other ways to see things, and money sometimes is already in front of our eyes that we can't see, or we might actually be telling ourselves stories about money that we don't even know we're telling, or the money's not there yet. And with some of those ladies, as I shared in the last week, it magically manifested. And who are we to question that? So here's the first thing. If I wanted to create $500 a month, in the next 5 days, this is what I would do. First of all, I'd get super clear on what that money is for. Money comes for a purpose. Money comes for a purpose. So I'm going to use the example here today of getting your first month deposit into the Upswing Mastermind, because so many of you have messaged me about that. But obviously you apply this to whatever you want. I've seen some wonderful conversations in here about manifesting or wanting like a sauna or a trip to India, or all these different things. What you need to do is get really, really clear on the exact amount of money that you're wanting to bring in and what it is for. So we'll use the Upswing Mastermind. If you were to get it on the early bird, it's $545, okay? That's how much. So we'll use the 500 for today. So get really clear as possible on what it is that you are basically saying, like, universe, I want that. That is for me. And I want you to get in those details. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They don't even believe it's for them. And so they haven't got it. They haven't been looking through the page. They haven't printed it and put it out to read. They haven't actually made any actions towards even believing that it is for them. And this is what we need to do first. Get clear on what it's for and know that it's for you. There are women, I guarantee, with way less money than you have who have found a way when they know it's true for them. So the first thing is, like, what do you want and do you want it? You're not going to manifest something that you're a little bit like, oh, I don't know, like, husband, what do you think? Friend, what do you think? No, you get clear first on what you want. And don't be afraid to fail. Most of us are too scared to say, universe, I want that, because we're so scared of what will happen if we don't get it. We don't want to face failure, so we don't even take the first step. I'm going to share with you guys, I don't know, 10, 15 steps today, depending how we're going. I got half an hour till I got to be in the car. So I'm here for you. See, we might not go that long, we'll see. We might even do some energy clearing. I don't know, let's see how we play this out today. But what I'm saying is, you're wasting your time if you look at something and tell the story, oh, I would do that if I have money, but you haven't even decided, yes, that's for me. And once you know what you want, you need to decide. You need to decide, this is for me. You need to be brave enough to say, this is what I want, and be able to sit in that unknown. And like unattachment to, it doesn't mean anything about you, whether you do it or not, but you need to claim those desires. From there, it's a decision, and then it's a belief. So if you're looking at someone else like me and you're like, oh, well, you could make $500 in a week, but I couldn't, then the belief isn't there. And beliefs don't need to take ages to rewire. We did the thought cycle the other day on the masterclass. You need to believe. Now I'm going to pause and give an example of this. We have a beautiful lady, Jessie. I'm sure she wouldn't mind telling this story. I would love Jessie actually to share with you guys at some time. But Jessie came to me in the last Upswing Mastermind, and she wanted to join the program, told me she wanted to join the program, told my lead coach she wanted to join the program, somehow got on a call with me, told me she wanted to join the program, and she said, oh, I just need to get the $500 together. Okay, so the reason she got on a call with me was so I could help her bring in the money, manifest the money, and get into that alignment. And I sent her out with, I talked to her for quite a while, and she kept telling me, yeah, I want to make $5K a month, I want to make $5K a month. But when it actually came to getting the deposit, I realized that that was actually going to be quite not easy for her, not easy. She had to go make it. But I helped her in that session, like half an hour we had together, I helped her see that she could go get $2,000 that week. And it wasn't until we got to that point that I saw what was really going on for Jessie. Her brain almost couldn't hold the 2,000, and she kept coming back to the, okay, well, I could probably scrape together the $500. She kept saying that, but I had showed her how she could make more. And so I was coaching her a little and seeing where we went. And it turns out that Jessie had never in her life made more than the minimum that she needed. Never in her life. And so even though she was saying she wanted something like to join the mastermind, she didn't believe that it wasn't for her, it was for others. So even though theoretically she wanted to make the money, she was treating the investment in the mastermind like it wasn't an investment. How do I put that in other words? And I see this a lot with women. I see people saying to me, like, I don't know if I can afford the learning experience or the education. It's an investment. These are the steps for you to start bringing in consistent paying clients. You're going to be making more money. But this is where I start to see people's money beliefs. So if the belief isn't there for Jessie, she didn't believe that she could make more than her expenses. Has anyone else had that experience in their life? It's just a chance. Like I said, I'm here to serve you guys today and do as much money clearing as we can. Yeah, some of you relate. And this is raw stuff. This is not how we all go around thinking. every day. We all believe that we are acting to 100% truth. No one's lying, and neither was Jessie. But when we really, really got to it, Jessie didn't believe that was possible for her, despite what she was saying. And that also explained her hesitancy to invest, because she kept thinking, well, can I just scrape that? She kept thinking, can I scrape the payments each month? And she wasn't focusing on the fact that she was going to start making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, because she didn't believe that was possible for her. Long story short, that one realization, and I hope that I can pass that to many of you today and shortcut the experience. Jessie went out and made $2,000 that week. She went on, obviously, to join the Upswing Mastermind. She made a lot more money than that in the mastermind. I don't have those figures in front of me today. Maybe I might see if she can pop in and share with you guys sometimes here. That's obviously her personal story too, but I can assure you that she was someone who sat on the phone and told me she wanted to make money, but didn't believe she could get the investment. And now she's made thousands and thousands of dollars since, because that was a mindset shift. Who's relating? Give me a heart, give me a thumbs up if maybe you're getting some ahas already. So I want you to actually affirm, I deserve greatness. I deserve success. I am worthy. I am just as worthy as everybody else I see. Let's get it in the chat box. I am worthy of success. I am worthy. When I invest, money comes back to me. That is the law and energy of money. When I invest, money comes back to me. Let's do a small breathing exercise before we move on to my steps. Let's close our eyes. And we're going to do a 4-part breath. And we're going to do it first without me telling you why, and then I'm going to layer in some deep things. Yes, you are all worthy of your success. So closing our eyes, let's do a 4-part breath. We're going to breathe in for the count of 4. Hold for the count of 4. Breathe out for the count of 4. And hold for the count of 4 at the bottom. Let's keep repeating that now on your own, and I'm going to layer some pieces in. Breathing in for the count of 4. Holding for the count of 4. Breathe out for the count of 4. And hold empty for the count of 4. And as you keep going in that same breath cycle, I'm going to start layering in an awareness of money for you and where you're at right now in this deciding, in this believing. I want you to watch if this was money, if money was just exactly the same as breath and energy, which area are you most comfortable in that breath cycle? Which area is most uncomfortable? When we breathe in, we receive money for the count of 4. At the top, we are safe to hold money for the count of 4. As we breathe out, we release and invest money for the count of 4. As we hold in the nothingness at the bottom, the emptiness, we are safe for the count of 4. As we breathe in, we receive money. As we hold at the top, we hold money. As we breathe out, we release money. At the bottom, we trust our investments. And as you keep doing that cycle, watch which part of the cycle might cause unease or discomfort. And money is honestly energy. I know that it's just such a woo-woo concept when we have all our mind constructs and proof that we've seen our whole life. But it is, and play with that for me for a moment. The only way for those seeds to sprout is if you first planted them and didn't panic and dig up the seeds the next day. So you release, you invest, you plant in the ground, you let it do its thing, you let you mature, you let it mature, and then you start to take action and the seeds come up, start sprouting, they come into full bloom and you are safe to hold. And then just as the end of summer, you will release, the leaves fall off. And that is nature. That is truth. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes, and I'd love to hear in the chat box, what was your experience? Which is the area that made you the most uncomfortable? And you might even, I know I just said open your eyes, but if you've still got them shut, you might even like to just allow that energy to start feeling what it'd be like if it did just completely flow through all four, and allow that and practice that and be that. Because the next step that I'm going to ask you all to do, now that we know what the money is for, we decide, it's not what if, it's a decide, okay, I want this. So now my question is, how will the money come? I'm not in victim, like what if it doesn't, or poor me. No, how will the money come? It's meant for me. It's meant to come. How will this happen? Okay. Oh, I see. I got some beliefs going on. The breath cycle is an amazing one to sit in and rewire those beliefs. So the next piece I want you to do is start feeling and being. What feelings would you feel if the $500 is absolutely on its way? What feeling would you feel? What feeling would you feel? Some of you are finding it hard to breathe in, receiving issues. Often people tell me they don't have money for the course, but actually when I talk to them, there is an inability to receive support, receive the nurturing, receive the accountability, and actually therefore a block in receiving money from others. And, so this is good to be aware of. So now we use that example, difficult to breathe in. How would you start feeling if it was easy to breathe in? Who would you be? How would you start acting? How would you start acting? What actions would you take different than you are right now if you started feeling and being into what you decided? This is a choice, guys. You guys can choose this in a second. We're all human. We've all got patterns playing out. But once you decide what you want and you know that that's there for a reason for you, you decide and you start not only believing, but feeling, being, and acting from that belief, okay? So that's the first part. Now and only now are you allowed to ask, okay, so how's this money going to come? Only now, okay? Because anything before that would come from a victim state, and we'll go into a victim loop, and thought cycle from the other day will prove you, the original thought. So now that we are feeling, being, acting from our knowing and our truth, now we can ask how. Okay, so I would start, if I was doing this, how can I be of service to the tune of $500 in the next 5 days? That's where I would start. And I would start writing down, journaling all the ideas. So for some of you, that might be, I'm going to go sell my first coaching package for $500. Yes, I'm a beginner. Yes, I don't really know what I'm doing, but there's a lady down the street who I know would be served by this, and I'm just going to go offer it. Some of you might be, okay, well, I'm not very confident yet, but I've got something for $100. I'm just going to go find 5 people. And that is selling of service. But what if you don't have money? Well, then also, what if you don't have anything and, nothing? Well, there's other ways. And I say journal it because I would rather you start to trust your own guidance on where that money could come from, because I actually would love you to receive this as opposed to me, necessarily telling you. But I would start there first, okay? I'm going to tell you some other ways to find the money if you don't have it in a moment, but let's start there. Start asking in your journal, how can I be of service? And not only how can I be of service, how can this money come to me? What do I need to know to receive this money? I now understand it is meant for me. I'm now in my power, not victim. I've made the decision, and I believe. What do I need to know? What do I need to do? Now, for many of you, and I'm going to use the mastermind as an example, but I can give you any example on earth, at that point, you should have your application in for the Upswing Mastermind because you have decided and you believe it's going to happen. You don't know how the money's going to come yet. You've just decided it will. And now you're creating your reality. Let's take the mastermind off the table for a moment. Let's say you want to go to Europe. You know, helped a couple of people manifest Europe trips. Well, the first thing you got to do is go to the travel agent. You got to get the quote. You got to know how much money it is. You got to have the brochure out. You got to start visualizing. You got to start planning your wardrobe for what to wear on Saint Tropez or wherever you're going. Because remember what we've done. We've decided that it's true. You know what you want. You've decided. And now the work is in the believing, right? The believing, the feeling, the being. And so obviously you would go as far as you can in that process until the money is truly needed. So you'd book those flights, or you'd at least put them on hold. Even though I don't know where the money's coming, I'm doing my part. I'm not sitting here waiting for the universe to give me a handout. I'm doing my part and showing I'm committed to myself, committed to this truth, okay? And some of you, like I said, have already done that with me this week, and who are we to understand why the mother-in-law emailed in the middle of the conversation with the husband saying, hey, is there anything I can support you guys on with money? Like, who are we to understand how these things happen? And, you know, I know a couple of you have been in tears at when you really do this process of not sitting in there, oh, I'm scared to make a decision because what if I fail? What if it doesn't come? What if I can have it? No, okay, this is my truth. I'm deciding, I'm believing, and I'm starting to feel, be, and act. Remember, the act is where we're up to. So we're also journaling, we're asking for guidance, we're asking how, whatever you do, if your practice is prayer or your practice is exercise or yoga, it's opening up to the universe. All right, I've made the decision. Show me how, show me how, show me how. I'm open to receiving, whether that's direct cash, whether that's guidance, and I'm open to acting. And anything that comes to you, you must act. So you get a little insight that's like, oh, well, you could do this $50 thing for 10 people. Go. Or it might be, you know, there's that one lady who wanted a $1,000 package and she didn't have the money. Go sell it for 500. We're just after 500 right now, okay? 500, that's all we're going for. Okay, so then we might get to the test. There's always going to be a test. And this may show up through something that challenges you. There's so many examples of tests, but, you know, it could be that someone comes and gives you a negative affirmation, or maybe a bill comes and you're like, I was trying to make money and now, you know, this happened. Maybe something happened in another business you've got and someone wanted a refund. Like, a test can come. This is your test. It's meant to come. Okay, cool. But during that period is where some of your energy work might come in. And in the Upswing Mastermind, I support on energy work, but I thought we could just do a little tiny taste of it here today. With your permission, and I will get the guidance if there's not permission from this group. With your permission, I thought we could just do a couple of clearing statements on our money beliefs as a group. So let's get in at this point. If you guys are following along, this process doesn't take ages. You should be doing it now. Right now, what's coming up for you? I want to hear the negative money beliefs. Go on, you know I hate negativity, but getting it in the chat box. I'll tolerate it for 5 minutes. What are the negative beliefs? Let's get them in. We're going to clear them out. We're going to clear them out in a couple of ways. Let's get them out of our system. Mel is saying, I need a new washing machine before the new school term starts. $500. Last night, my husband and I manifested $150. Of course you did, Mel. You're an awesome upswinger. Of course you did. You're a powerful woman. You know this process. You go. And yes, it is not just for deposits to programs. I'm only giving that example because some of you have asked me to help you with that. Okay, if you want to play along, otherwise I'll throw some in. There was one in the chat before, I can't bring it back out. Oh, it was that selling is asking people to hand over their hard-earned cash. Okay, doesn't look like anyone's putting any in, so I'll tell you what, I'll lead it. We're going to do, which technique does this group want? Okay, closing our eyes again. Closing our eyes again as a group. And I just want you to put your hands on your heart, and I want you to connect in with, there's a part of you, an aspect of you, an inner child aspect that is super scared on these money pieces, because all of you and your higher self has gone, yep, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, I believe, I'm going to start feeling, I'm going to start being, and there's this aspect of you, this kind of wounded child aspect probably, that is like, this is a joke, this is not working, I'm sulking, what if I don't earn the money, what if I'm out of work, what if I get sick, what if I have another child, what if I get stuck at work, what if I don't have enough time? The wounded child piece is not on board, right? So even though we're doing all we can, the wounded child piece is not on board. So all I'm going to do is say some statements, and you don't have to worry about the statements. They are not negative affirmations. They are purely clearing statements. Whether or not these are your statements doesn't matter. They will only support you if you are meant to receive them. And if you are not, they will simply wash over. So don't let the monkey mind get in the way. All I'm going to do is say some comments, and you guys are going to repeat them, but you are saying them with compassion energy to that inner child wounded piece that is freaking out. Okay, so here we go. I'm so sorry you are freaking out. You just repeat it out loud to that wounded aspect of you with your eyes closed, with compassion energy. I'm so sorry you're freaking out. I'm so sorry you feel unsafe. I'm so sorry this feels risky. I'm so sorry you don't trust yourself. I'm so sorry your mother wouldn't approve. I'm so sorry your father wouldn't approve. I'm so sorry you don't trust investing. I'm so sorry you feel like you're investing in learning, not money that's coming out the other side for you. I'm so sorry you're closed to receiving through your business. I'm so sorry your business hasn't made money yet, so you find that hard to believe that it's going to. I'm so sorry there are missing business skills you don't yet have to make that money. I'm so sorry you'll never generate the income to cover the investments. I'm so sorry you've made bad investments in the past. I'm so sorry you're terrified you might have to go back to traditional work. I'm so sorry you're terrified that you want this, but other people aren't going to want to pay. I'm so sorry you don't believe people want your services. I'm so sorry other people don't have money to buy from you. I'm so sorry other people don't value your services. I'm so sorry you would be taking people's hard-earned cash if they paid you. I'm so sorry healing services should be charged for free. I'm so sorry you don't have enough experience yet to make good money. I'm so sorry the results come for other people, not you. I'm so sorry you're always the one that doesn't get results. I'm so sorry you don't trust yourself to follow through. I'm so sorry your husband, mother, father, friends don't trust you to follow through. Just take a deep breath, shake any of that energy that might have arisen out. We might just do 1 or 2 more, and then we will close. I'm so sorry you forgot how powerful you are. I'm so sorry you forgot your work is meant to be out in the world. I'm so sorry you can't see how valuable you are. I'm so sorry you know you can't get there alone. I'm so sorry you find it hard to trust others to support you. I'm so sorry it is frustrating that you need to spend money to make money. I'm so sorry you're kind of angry at money. I'm so sorry money stops you doing things you love. All right, I think that'll do us for today. So 3 deep breaths, dropping any energy that arose into the earth, shaking off your arms and your legs and everything, sending massive waves of love and compassion to that inner child in you, the wounded aspect, telling her she's safe, or him, and letting that go. All right. Now, there are many different things we can do when these feelings come up. The conflict is meant to come up when you get an alignment. So once you get an alignment with, this is what I want, I'm deciding, I believe, only then will the conflicts come up. That's when you're being honest. How did you guys like that process? Let me know that everyone's feeling good in the chat box before we move on, but I wanted to explain that you can't get to seeing what the true pieces are, Claire, until you make a commitment to what you truly do want. All right, can we get some hearts and some thumbs up so I know you guys are alive? Let me know that you're all good. Let me know if you're not, but you should be. You know, there's other things that we can do, like tapping on meridian point. Some of you might know tapping. Even though I don't have the money right now to invest in myself, I deeply and completely love myself. Even though I don't have the money right now, I'm just doing random tapping points. You guys can go on YouTube if you want to find a tapping video. Yes, thank you for sharing all of those. And if anybody had a particular experience in that little mini clearing, please let me know. Mel, I hope the made you cry was compassion, tears for that part of you. We all have these parts of us. Yeah, cool. That I'm valuable, my services are valuable. Jade sharing. You guys are all so much more valuable than you realize. You really, really are. That's why I'm so passionate to want to love you all up over the next 6 months and help you see that and get that out to the world. Yeah, Mel, yeah. And Mel, you obviously being in upswing, I will just share also probably trust me because you've worked with me for a while, you know, so that would allow you to feel safe and to release even more. So, all right. So like I said, there's also tapping. If anyone knows tapping, EFT, that you could do your own statements. The compassion key isn't one that you would do yourself at home. It's something that I need to facilitate as I did today. There's a specific mastery behind that, but you could do your own statements. You could, you know, get on YouTube and do a tapping video, or you could also just journal out things that are coming up for you. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you, Susan. I'm delighted that you're joining us in the Upswing Mastermind. Anyway, we're gonna have a fun 6 months, aren't we? Okay, where am I up to in my little notes of impromptu money mindset training? I can't read number 7, guys. I can't read it. Can't read my own writing. What would I have said there? Let me feel into that. Oh, yeah, I know what it was. Okay, so I was going to add, don't give all your power to me or to a coach. What's your personal manifesting style? Have you ever manifested anything before? If so, what were you doing? Were you doing affirmations? One of the books that we study in the mastermind is The Think and Grow Rich. So I desire $500 by the 10th of October. And then you could add on the statement of how you think you're going to do that. Just walk around the house, write it I was in a $20,000 mastermind, and I sat down next to a girl on day one, and I looked at her journal next to me, and she had written, I desire $50,000 in my bank account by, it was a few days later. And she was writing it while the coach was lecturing. She was writing it down the page, down the page. Do this, guys. I dare you. If you are serious about making $500, whether that's to get into the mastermind or for anything that you want to manifest, write it. Go write it 3 whole pages and keep writing it all day today and all day tomorrow. This is a skill that I want you guys to get for life, not just, I'm passionate about this because I want to teach this to you for 6 months, obviously. So whatever works for you, don't give all your power to me. What works for you? Maybe you have a favorite meditation. Maybe you have a mantra. Maybe you have, I have all the rituals, I've got abundance oils, or I've got like crystals, and again, I don't give my power to those either. I am the one who creates my reality. You are the one who creates your reality. But if you have your own personal practices or things that make you feel great, bring those in. Okay, what would we do after that? We would keep reminding ourselves, making $500 is easy for me. Making $500 is easy for me. The universe supports me. My soul knows I'm meant to do this work, and the universe supports me to do that. Anytime I have a doubt in my business, and I've been in business for 8 years, and yes, the doubts come all the time. Anytime I reconnect to why I'm doing this, which is for all of you, the doubts disappear in a heartbeat. So you come into your why and tell yourself, I'm supported. I'm supported. I'm supported. I'm not alone in this. I'm supported. I'm supported to get into the program if that's your desire. I'm supported by all the team coaches and me, once I get in there, all the mastermind ladies. You are so supported. Start affirming that now, because remember what we said before? When you decide and believe what you want, you're going to start feeling, being, and acting. So if you're going to be in a program where you're super supported, you might as well start acting, feeling, and being supported right now, right? Claim it. I'm supported. Start walking around. I don't know if anyone knows Dr. Joe Dispenza. I went to his amazing retreat in the Sunshine Coast a few months ago, and we did walking meditations. So that is a specific meditation, but you guys can go down the street right now. I dare you to walk down the street as the person who already is in the program. How would you walk? What would you think? What would you be saying to your friends? How would you be explaining it? Be that. Be that. Imagination costs you nothing. You can take it that whole way, whole way. Okay. So then I think the final piece that I'll probably talk about today is, I might just say, if you find 50 cents on the ground, can you please celebrate that in the next 5 days? Or my husband and I pick up every coin we see. There's a $2 that's just sitting on my bathroom cabinet that we found on the street the other day. I don't know why I haven't moved it, but because this is about being grateful. More please, more please. Where have I been supported already today? I'm so grateful for that support. More please, more please. I'm open to receiving that. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate, I acknowledge, I give gratitude for that 50 cents. And it's a big sign that I'm on the right path. Okay. Now you guys are going to show up, right? And this is the act piece. One of my other favorite books, Leveraging the Universe, Mike Daley, talks about that when we throw things into the universe, like let's say it's like a baseball being thrown, we expect the batter to hit the ball back and we go, yay, I caught it. Well, it doesn't quite work like that. You might be throwing the baseball and the batter flips it off the other side, and then the phone rings in the stand and you go get the phone, and that's what you wanted. When you throw the baseball, you show up, you act, you start reaching out to people, you start, how will I make the $500? How will I make the $500? You pick up the phone, you email people, you do whatever's needed. That creates an energy in the universe, and the universe will come back and meet you halfway. Just be open to how that might look. That might come. For many of you, if you don't yet have a business, it's more likely to come through an existing channel that you fully believe that you can make money through. So don't be surprised if you magically get money in the mail, or your husband got some kind of pay rise, or the mother-in-law rung offering money, or anything like that. You just do your part, you stay believing, you start taking action until it is done. One of my clients recently was absolutely stoked. She sold out a group program. She wanted 20 people in the program. She sold 19. She told me it was done because the day was up. I was like, no, it's not done till you got 20. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And of course she got that. A few days later, a few days after the deadline. One of the keys here, guys, one of the biggest ways that we block the universe is when we freak out on time or how. They call it the cursed hows. You believe it's going to come through this way and you don't see that it might be coming through that way. So you got to act. What are some ways that you're going to act? This is where we come down to the real practicality. In your journaling, in your how, sometimes, this is where I said we have those glasses on. Hopefully we've taken the glasses off now. If you had to find $500 because you want to make this come true, not just to join the program, but for you to step into your power through actually bringing it in like this. Like if I was sitting here right now and I needed $500, do you know what I'd do first? I would scan my office for things I can sell. Not lying. That's what I would do. I've got some gorgeous crystals in here. I would be completely open. I mean, this is just what's coming to me as I'm talking. I would be completely open to selling those if I had the burning desire that the money was meant to go into another purpose. Because, hey, I mean, you know, look at when I joined the $20,000 mastermind. That was obviously a very scary investment. But it was the process of me, what did I say before? Like feeling, being, acting. Of the woman who could sit at that table and sit next to the lady who was writing the lines. It was the belief in myself that I even belonged in that room that made that $20,000 the best investment of my life. And yes, 3 months later, I made $50,000. My husband, when I invest, always says, will you make that back in 3 years? And yes, that $20,000 investment was scary, but I did make it back within 3 months. And I'm not guaranteeing that for you, but what I am saying is that you need to act, feel, be, and act, right? So the act, I would absolutely, this moment, sell my favorite crystals. If there was a business course that I wanted to be in that was going to bring me more because I would be able to go out and buy more crystals, like soon. I know that to be fact. I've never invested in and regretted it. So what else would I do? I mean, I'm just looking around, you know, I got lots of ideas as I look around my office. You know, I went to some of my kind of like incense and oils. I'm like, well, I might actually do a bit of a ritual. That was back up, you know, and other steps of clearing beliefs. Other things I would do once I got super clear, I might talk to my husband. You know, like if he had money and I don't, I would never go to my husband and say, what do you think? Should I do this? No, I've made the decision. So now I might go to him and say, hey, John, like this is, I might say with a bit of a laugh, like, yes, I know you've heard this, you know, but I really want to go to the next level in my business. I've been doing my research. I've got super clear that this is the course I want to do. And I want to look at how we could come up with the money for me to do that. My goal is to be making this much a month. I don't have the business skills right now to do it. Can you help me out in working out how we could do it? That is, for me personally, I don't know how that feels to you guys, such a nicer piece, such a nicer way of doing it. But okay, we don't all have husbands, so what else could we do? Well, when I wanted to get into my business courses, I went and hustled and did some contract work. Now, many of you might say, well, I can't do contract work, and I totally get that. But I didn't even know I could do that in my old role. And so I went and sucked it up at some really horrible, actually, jobs for a couple of weeks that paid well for a short-term contract. And I got the money. I was willing to sacrifice. Something else I did for a long time was I was in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment in Bondi Beach for a long time in Sydney. And I used to Airbnb out one of the bedrooms. I mean, this place was tiny. And we had to share bathrooms with these travelers from all over the world. It was not actually fun. But I knew what I wanted and I knew what my truth was. And I knew I had to get the deposits. And so what I'm showing is ways that when I went, well, how could I? One way, I'm not making this financial advice, but one way that I personally have found to invest is by getting a 0 interest credit card. So I'll put something on a credit card and there's like 12 to 18 months to pay that back. That is something that my husband and I are very comfortable doing. We still do it to this day. even though we don't necessarily need to do it that way. We actually enjoy doing it for credit rating reasons and all of those kind of things. Sometimes I talk to people, again, this is not financial advice, I'm just showing ways that money might be there. Oh, I hear he's home. That must mean we're going soon. Oh yeah, it's 10:40. Whoops. All right, he might walk in. So what was I saying? Sometimes people tell me they don't have money, but then when I ask, well, is there money? You know, oh, well, there is money, but it's in savings and we don't touch savings. Or there is money, it's another account, we don't touch that. And that's fine. Like, that's your financial decision, 100% your financial decision. But if you're asking me how you can find money, it's important to be honest and tell the story. Well, there is money and I choose not to invest it, as opposed to telling yourself there is no money, because then you're stuck in a lack cycle. Lack cycle. And that, you know, you're better to be back in your truth. If it wasn't your truth at the beginning, great, this isn't for me, I don't choose to spend my money there, move on. But if it is, and we keep telling, there's an amazing podcast I listened to recently about how women lie about money so much. And we do it to keep ourselves safe or to, you know, whatever it is. Just be honest with yourself. So those are a few ideas. Is there anything else I wrote on my notes? I mean, you guys might have another business that there might be a way to go do a flash sale, or I don't know, like there's so many ways that I've seen people bring money in. You know, I've seen people get off a discovery call with me. One lady recently didn't think she had the money, but she got the deposit together. And then she literally got off the phone and her mother rung her and said, hey, you know, I was about to buy you that king bed for your 40th birthday. She's like, I just get the feeling there might be something else that you'd prefer. And she paid within the hour. So I see this all the time. I get that it can sound woo-woo and whatever to you guys, but I hope that this has helped. These are the things. I would do daily work. If you want to break through, I'm giving you the shortcut. Obviously, anyone who's in the mastermind will do the deeper dive on this. And I'm not the universe. I can't promise you money miracles, but what I can promise you is that if you start by getting honest, what I want, decide and align your beliefs. Start feeling, being, acting, doing from that place, and asking daily, how can this? This is meant to happen, how can it? And anybody who's truly doing this work, truly committed, and money is the genuine reason that they haven't yet put in their application for the mastermind, well, you should get your application in. Early bird ends tomorrow. Use that as a deadline. Get your application in and get on the phone. That way, you either connect with me or one of my team members, and we help you, one, get clear, and two, look at where the money's coming from. Now, I'm not encouraging to book that call if you're not serious. But if you're serious and you're doing this work and you're taking my coaching and you're telling me, Amanda, I'm going to be in this program, I just don't yet know how, then you have my full support. You have my 1,000,000% support. And that includes energetically from me and my team. And we will be backing you in every way that we can. So, any other questions? Let's share any key insights from today, any ahas or anything else you'd like me to talk about bringing in your $500 in the next 5 days. Any questions at all? Can't remember which podcast it was, Juliet, but if I find it, I will share it. I'll come back in the group and share it if I can find it later. Any other questions? I'm going to Byron. That's where I'm about to go. If anyone knows Byron, it's a beautiful, beautiful place, about an hour's drive from here. Beautiful day out there. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and some of you I know are already in the mastermind, and hey, if you've already paid your first month deposit, maybe use what I've taught you here today to up the game. What if I could pay this all off? You know, some of you are paying deposits now and we can give you an extension for when to pay in full. You know, like maybe that could be a fun challenge. If you've already got the $500, what if I could pay this off in the first month instead of over 12? Like, play with it. What have you guys got to lose? What have you possibly got to lose? I'm going to look out for applications from go-getters. And if you do apply, put it on the application. If there's anywhere to write it, if there's any space that you can fill that in, say you were on the money mindset training, I'd love to know that. 2, I'm going to keep an eye out for conversations here in the group, and let's all support each other. By the way, like, you know, someone here might know someone who needs your package. You only need one person to buy a $500 package, no matter how new you are. and that would be your first payment. But there's many, many other ways to make money. All right, doesn't look like there's any questions, and we went for a lot longer than I realized, 46 minutes, or longer. But hey, there we go. That's top of mind, Saturday morning, 10 steps that I could give you for manifesting $500 in 5 days. As I get off, I would love to get a hell yes, I'm doing it from anyone who's committed. And I will be holding my extra support for all of you to see that coming through, because you are fully supported. And I look forward to supporting many of you, not only in this week, but over the next 6 months as well. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Thank you for spending your time with me. And I will connect with some of you soon. Take care. Bye.